Many students have noticed that CELPIP listening in 2026 has become trickier, with more complex traps and subtle question logic. In today's video, I've prepared a brand new 2026 CELPIP listening practice session. But it's much more than just a mock test. I've included detailed explanations and a breakdown of key testing points for every single question. Why is this a must-watch? First, I'll show you the exact examiner's logic, helping you identify and dodge those frustrating traps. Second, I'll deconstruct the high-frequency patterns behind each question so you can move from just understanding to getting it right. If you're serious about boosting your listening score this month, make sure you stay until the very end. CELPIP. Listening Part 2. Listening to a daily life conversation. You will hear a conversation followed by 5 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Morning, Steve. I see you're out early today. It's a bit chilly out here, isn't it? I thought we were finally done with this wind.
Tell me about it, Linda. I had to put my heavy coat back on. I was hoping to enjoy some sunshine while I worked on the garage.
I noticed you've been clearing things out all morning. It's quite a pile you've got there. Are you finally having that yard sale you mentioned last month?
You know, I thought about it, but honestly, haggling with people over $5 toasters sounds like too much work.
I've decided to just list the big items online and donate the rest to the community thrift store later this week.
That's probably a safer bet. My cousin tried a yard sale last month, and she said it was a nightmare. She ended up with more leftovers than she started with.
By the way, is that old mountain bike near the fence also in the donate pile?
Yeah, it is. It needs a bit of TLC. The chain is rusty and the tires are flat, but the frame is solid. Why? Do you want it?
Well, my son has been begging for one, but I don't want to take it for free. How about I give you $50 for it?
No way, Linda. You've helped me clear the snow from my driveway all winter. Just take it. Consider it a long overdue thank you gift.
Are you sure? That's so kind of you. I'll have my husband Gary come over and wheel it to our place this evening when he gets back from the gym.
Sounds like a plan. I'll leave it right by the gate so he doesn't even have to knock.
Perfect. Oh, I better get going. I'm meeting my sister for lunch in 10 minutes.
Question 1. What are the speakers mainly discussing? Question 2. Why did the man change his mind about the yard sale? Question 3. What is the woman's opinion of yard sales? Question 4. Why does the man refuse to accept money for the bike? Question 5. What will happen later today?
First, we will go through the answer analysis, providing clear explanations for every correct choice. Second, we will dive into the key testing points, identifying the specific skills for each task. Finally, we will reveal the examiner's logic, showing you how traps are set and how to think like the test maker. Question 1. What are the speakers mainly discussing? The correct answer is C. Disposing of the man's unwanted belongings. Key point. This is a gist question. Right at the beginning, Linda mentions Steve has been clearing out the garage. They spend the rest of the talk discussing whether to sell, donate, or give away these items. While they do mention weather or yard sales, those are just small parts of the bigger topic, getting rid of Steve's old stuff. Question 2. Why did the man change his mind about the yard sale? The correct answer is B. He wanted to avoid the hassle of bargaining with buyers. Key point. This question tests your ability to recognize paraphrasing. In the audio, Steve says he doesn't want to go through the haggling because it's too much work. In the options, the word haggling is replaced by the synonym bargaining, and too much work is replaced by hassle. If you only looked for the exact word haggling in the options, you might have missed it. Question 3. What is the woman's opinion of yard sales? The correct answer is B. They often result in many unsold items. Key point. Listen for the supporting detail. Linda mentions her cousin's nightmare experience where she ended up with more leftovers than she started with. The word leftovers here refers to things that didn't sell. This is a common CELPIP strategy, using a third-person story to confirm a speaker's opinion. Question 4. Why does the man refuse to accept money for the bike? The correct answer is C. He is grateful for the woman's help during the winter. Key point. This tests your understanding of interpersonal logic. Linda offers $50, but Steve says, "No way." He explains that Linda helped him clear the snow all winter. He calls the bike a thank you gift. This shows his motivation is gratitude, not the condition of the bike or the specific price. Question 5. What will happen later today? The correct answer is C. Gary will collect the bike from the gate without needing to knock. Key point. This is a classic negative logic trap. Steve says, "I'll leave it right by the gate so he doesn't even have to knock." The test often includes an option that says the character will do the action mentioned. Option A says Gary will knock, but the audio explicitly says he doesn't have to. Always listen for those small negative words like doesn't or instead of. CELPIP. Listening Part 2. Listening to a daily life conversation. You will hear a conversation followed by 5 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Hi, Janet. I thought that was you. I haven't seen you since you left the accounting department last year. How have you been?
Oh, hey, Mike. What a surprise. I'm doing well, just keeping busy. I was actually just grabbing a quick latte before heading to the pharmacy next door.
Tell me about it. I'm just here for my daily caffeine fix, too. So, how's the little one? He must be, 6 months old now?
He's actually 8 months already. Time just flies. He started crawling, so I can't take my eyes off him for a second.
I bet. My sister said the same thing when her daughter started moving around. So, are you back to work yet, or are you still on leave?
Well, I was supposed to go back to the office full-time this month. But honestly, with the cost of daycare these days, my husband and I decided it made more sense for me to work from home part-time for now.
That's a smart move. Commuting to the city center every day is a nightmare anyway, especially with the new bridge construction.
Exactly. I save at least 2 hours a day on driving, though I do miss the quiet of the office. It's hard to focus when there's a baby playing with noisy toys in the next room.
I can imagine. Hey, I actually have some old baby gates in my garage that my kids don't use anymore. They're still in great shape. Do you want them?
That would be amazing. We were just looking at some online, and they are surprisingly expensive.
Don't mention it. I'll drop them off at your place this weekend. Are you still living on Oak Street?
No, we actually moved to a townhouse near the community center last winter. I'll text you the new address.
Sounds good. I'll wait for your message. Question 1. Where are the speakers having this conversation? Question 2. What does the woman say about her son? Question 3. Why did the woman decide to work from home? Question 4. What is the woman's main complaint about working from home? Question 5. What is the man going to do this weekend?
First, we will go through the answer analysis, providing clear explanations for every correct choice. Second, we will dive into the key testing points, identifying the specific skills for each task. Finally, we will reveal the examiner's logic, showing you how traps are set and how to think like the test maker. Question 1. Where are the speakers having this conversation? The correct answer is B. Inside a local coffee shop. Key point. This is a context question. Early in the conversation, Janet mentions she is grabbing a quick latte, and Mike says he is there for his daily caffeine fix. These are clear environmental clues that point to a cafe. In CELPIP, the location is often mentioned through the actions people are doing, rather than naming the place directly. Question 2. What does the woman say about her son? The correct answer is C. He requires constant supervision. Key point. This is a paraphrasing and correction trap. Mike guesses the baby is 6 months old, but Janet corrects him to 8 months. She then says she can't take her eyes off him for a second. The phrase, can't take her eyes off him, is paraphrased in the answer as requires constant supervision. Be careful with option B, 6 months old, which was the wrong guess made by the man. Question 3. Why did the woman decide to work from home? The correct answer is C. The expense of professional childcare was too high. Key point. This is a reasoning question. Janet mentions 2 benefits of working from home: avoiding bridge construction and saving on childcare. However, she uses the phrase "it made more sense," specifically when talking about the cost of daycare. In the CELPIP world, daycare and childcare are used interchangeably. Always look for the primary motivator behind a decision. Question 4. What is the woman's main complaint about working from home? The correct answer is C. It is difficult to find a quiet environment to work. Key point. This focuses on speaker's perspective. Janet says she misses the quiet of the office because her son plays with noisy toys in the next room. The test makers are looking for you to connect the detail, noisy toys, to the general problem, lack of a quiet environment. Question 5. What is the man going to do this weekend? The correct answer is C. Give the woman some used household items. Key point. This is another paraphrasing trap. Mike offers his old baby gates. Instead of using the specific word baby gates in the answer, the test uses the general category used household items. Option D is a trap because online store was mentioned by Janet, but it's not what Mike is going to do. CELPIP. Listening Part 2. Listening to a daily life conversation. You will hear a conversation followed by 5 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Excuse me, are you David? From the old hiking club?
Oh, Sarah, it's been ages. What are you doing here at the community center? Are you still into long-distance running?
Not as much as I'd like to be. My knees aren't what they used to be, so I've been looking for some lower-impact hobbies. I was actually just heading to the front desk to sign up for that pottery class I saw in the brochure.
Pottery? That's funny. My wife and I took that last year. It's great, but honestly, the studio is so crowded on Tuesday nights, you can barely move your elbows.
Oh, really? That doesn't sound very relaxing. I'm looking for something a bit more quiet.
Well, if you're looking for a new hobby, I'm actually here to register for the Advanced Woodworking Workshop. They have a beginner session starting next month, too. You get your own station, so there's plenty of space.
Woodworking? I don't know, David. I'm not very good with power tools. I'd probably end up losing a finger.
Haha, don't worry. The instructor, Mr. Henderson, is incredibly strict about safety. He spends the first 3 classes just on tool handling. Plus, you get to make your own picture frames and birdhouses.
Picture frames do sound nice. I have a lot of photos from my hiking days that need framing. But wait, isn't that class on Saturday mornings? I usually visit my parents then.
Actually, they just added a Thursday evening slot because the weekend one was so popular. It's from 7 to 9 p.m.
Thursday? That actually works perfectly. My yoga class was just canceled for the season, so I have that night free.
Perfect. Why don't you come with me to the desk now? If we sign up together, I think there's a small discount for referring a friend.
You've sold me. Let's do it. I've always wanted a handmade birdhouse for my backyard anyway.
Question 1. How do the speakers know each other? Question 2. Why is the woman looking for a new hobby? Question 3. What was the man's complaint about the pottery class? Question 4. Why was the woman initially hesitant about the woodworking class? Question 5. What will the speakers probably do next?
First, we will go through the answer analysis, providing clear explanations for every correct choice. Second, we will dive into the key testing points, identifying the specific skills for each task. Finally, we will reveal the examiner's logic, showing you how traps are set and how to think like the test maker. Question 1. How do the speakers know each other? The correct answer is C. They were members of the same hiking club. Key point. This is a relationship identification question. In the very first line, Sarah asks, "Are you David from the old hiking club?" Even though they discuss running and woodworking later, those are current interests, not their original connection. Question 2. Why is the woman looking for a new hobby? The correct answer is B. She wants an activity that is less physically demanding. Key point. Sarah mentions her knees aren't what they used to be, and she needs lower-impact hobbies. In CELPIP, physical health limitations are frequently paraphrased as less physically demanding. Question 3. What was the man's complaint about the pottery class? The correct answer is B. The studio was too small for the number of students. Key point. This is a descriptive idiom trap. David says the studio was so crowded you can barely move your elbows. This directly implies the space was insufficient for the number of people there. Question 4. Why was the woman initially hesitant about the woodworking class? The correct answer is C. She was worried about a potential scheduling conflict. Key point. This is a dynamic decision question. Sarah first says no because she thought the class was on Saturday mornings when she visits her parents. This is a scheduling conflict. She only agrees once a Thursday evening option is mentioned. Question 5. What will the speakers probably do next? The correct answer is C. Register for a course at the front desk. Key point. Look for the final agreement. David suggests, "Why don't you come with me to the desk now?" And Sarah responds, "Let's do it." This confirms their immediate next step is to sign up. CELPIP. Listening Part 2. Listening to a daily life conversation. You will hear a conversation followed by 5 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Hey, Julia, taking a break? I feel like I've been staring at my computer screen for 10 hours straight.
Tell me about it, Mark. My eyes are killing me. I just needed to come over here and grab a green tea to wake up. Have you finished that quarterly report yet?
Almost. I just need to double-check the sales figures for June. But hey, I actually wanted to ask you something. You're on the social committee, right?
I am. It's been a bit quiet lately, but we're starting to plan the company's 10th anniversary celebration for next month. Why? Do you have some ideas?
Well, I heard a rumor that the management is planning a formal sit-down dinner at that expensive hotel downtown. Honestly, those events always feel so stiff and boring.
You're not the only one who thinks so. Actually, we discussed that in the meeting this morning and decided to scrap the hotel idea. It's too pricey, and people usually leave early anyway.
That's a relief. So, what's the new plan? Are we just doing a casual lunch in the break room?
We thought about that, but the break room is a bit too small for everyone. Instead, we're looking into renting a private tent at the Riverside Park. We want to do a catered barbecue with some live music.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. A BBQ is way more relaxed. But what if it rains? You know how unpredictable the weather is in September.
Good point. The rental company provides heavy-duty side panels for the tent, and there's a solid indoor pavilion right next to it that we can use as a backup.
Smart. Is there anything I can do to help? I'm not much of a cook, but I'm happy to help with the setup.
Actually, we need someone to help organize the employee awards segment. Since you've been here since the beginning, you know everyone's history. Would you be up for that?
I'd be honored. I've got plenty of funny stories from the early days of the company.
Perfect. I'll send you an invite for our planning meeting on Wednesday afternoon.
Question 1. What was the man doing before he saw the woman? Question 2. Why did the social committee reject the hotel dinner plan? Question 3. What is the current plan for the anniversary celebration? Question 4. How does the woman address the man's concern about the weather? Question 5. What role will the man play in the upcoming event? First, we will go through the answer analysis, providing clear explanations for every correct choice. Second, we will dive into the key testing points, identifying the specific skills for each task. Finally, we will reveal the examiner's logic, showing you how traps are set and how to think like the test maker. Question 1. What was the man doing before he saw the woman? The correct answer is B, working on a financial report. Key point. Mark mentions he's been staring at a computer screen and specifically says he needs to double-check the sales figures for a quarterly report. In CELPIP, sales figures is a common synonym for financial data. Question 2. Why did the social committee reject the hotel dinner plan? The correct answer is C. It was too expensive and lacked a fun atmosphere. Key point. Julia explains they scrapped the hotel idea because it was too pricey, and people find such events stiff and boring. Question 3. What is the current plan for the anniversary celebration? The correct answer is B, a catered event at an outdoor park. Key point. This is a follow the change question. They rejected the hotel and the break room. The final choice is renting a private tent at the Riverside Park for a catered barbecue. Question 4. How does the woman address the man's concern about the weather? The correct answer is B, by mentioning the availability of protective equipment and a backup indoor space. This question tests your ability to hear specific details. When Mark asks about rain, Julia explains that the tent comes with heavy-duty side panels, which act as protective equipment. She also mentions a solid indoor pavilion right next to it that they can use as a backup if the weather gets bad. Question 5. What role will the man play in the upcoming event? The correct answer is C. He will manage the award portion of the celebration. Near the end of the conversation, Julia asks Mark to help organize the employee awards segment. She chooses him because he has been with the company since the beginning and knows everyone's history. Mark accepts the task, saying he would be honored to do it. CELPIP. Listening Part 2. Listening to a daily life conversation. You will hear a conversation followed by 5 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Phew, is it just me, or is the humidity today just unbearable? I feel like I'm walking through a sauna just to get to the mailbox.
It's not just you, Kevin. I actually gave up on my morning jog 5 minutes in. I figured it's a perfect excuse to stay inside with the air conditioning on.
Good call. Hey, speaking of staying cool, did you ever get that old window unit of yours fixed? I remember you saying it was making a weird rattling noise last week.
Ugh, don't remind me. I had a technician come by on Tuesday. Turns out the motor is shot. He said it would cost more to repair it than to just buy a brand new energy-efficient model.
That's a total bummer. But I guess it's a blessing in disguise. Those newer models are way quieter, and they don't eat up as much electricity.
True, but the timing is just terrible. I'm actually saving up for my sister's destination wedding in Mexico next month. I've already spent a fortune on the flight and the resort.
I see your point. Financial timing is never perfect, is it? Well, before you go out and drop $800 on a new one, you should check out the clearance center on 4th Avenue.
The one next to the old library? I thought they only sold office furniture.
They used to, but they recently expanded. They have a whole section of open box appliances, things people return because they changed their mind or the box was slightly dented.
Are they reliable, though? I don't want to end up with another broken machine in 2 weeks.
My brother bought a fridge there last summer, and it's been perfect. Plus, they still give you a 1-year store warranty, so you're covered if anything goes sideways.
That sounds like exactly what I need. It might save me enough to actually afford a few excursions in Mexico. I think I'll head over there right after I finish my lunch.
I'd go sooner rather than later. Those open box deals usually get snapped up pretty fast, especially during a heat wave like this.
Question 1. What are the speakers complaining about at the start of the conversation? Question 2. What did the technician tell the woman about her old air conditioner? Question 3. Why is the woman hesitant to buy a new appliance right now? Question 4. What is special about the items sold at the clearance center? Question 5. Why does the man suggest the woman go to the store immediately? First, we will go through the answer analysis, providing clear explanations for every correct choice. Second, we will dive into the key testing points, identifying the specific skills for each task. Finally, we will reveal the examiner's logic, showing you how traps are set and how to think like the test maker. Question 1. What are the speakers complaining about at the start of the conversation? The correct answer is C, the uncomfortably hot and damp weather. This is a synonym and vocabulary question. Kevin uses the word humidity and compares the air to a sauna, while the woman mentions her morning jog was too difficult. In the options, the word damp is a synonym for humid, and hot refers to the sauna-like conditions mentioned in the dialogue. Question 2. What did the technician tell the woman about her old air conditioner? The correct answer is B. It is not worth fixing due to the high cost. This is a logical inference question. The woman explains that the motor is shot, and it would cost more to repair it than to buy a brand new one. This follows a classic CELPIP logic. Whenever repair costs exceed the item's value, the exam paraphrases this as being not worth fixing. Question 3. Why is the woman hesitant to buy a new appliance right now? The correct answer is B. She has already committed a lot of money to an upcoming trip. This is a distraction trap. The woman mentions she is saving for a wedding in Mexico and has spent a fortune on flights. Option A is a trap because it says she is moving to Mexico, but the audio says she is only visiting. Always listen carefully to the purpose of a trip to avoid these common traps. Question 4. What is special about the items sold at the clearance center? The correct answer is B. They are brand new items with slightly damaged packaging. This is a real-world paraphrasing question. The man describes the items as open box, and mentions the boxes were slightly dented. The test paraphrases dented box as damaged packaging. Understanding these common retail terms is key to scoring high on Part 2. Question 5. Why does the man suggest the woman go to the store immediately? The correct answer is C. Popular items sell out quickly in the current heat. This is an idiom and context question. The man warns that deals get snapped up pretty fast, which is an idiom meaning they sell out quickly. He connects this urgency to the heat wave. When you hear the phrase sooner rather than later, it's a signal that the answer will involve acting fast due to high demand.